Last time, I told you the first checkpoint for any writer isn't talent or inspiration or finding your voice. It's durability, the ability to keep showing up when writing feels like absolute hell. If you missed that, go back and watch part 1, because nothing I'm about to say matters if you can't survive the silence first. But let's assume you did. You've taken the punches. You've bled for your words. You're still here. That means you're ready for checkpoint 2. Mastery. And this is where the majority of serious writers get exposed, because they confuse output with improvement. They think finishing a bunch of projects makes them better, when all they've really done is repeat the same bad habits 50 times in a row. That's not mastery. That's mediocrity on repeat. Mastery is about deliberate evolution. It's the moment you stop asking, "How much did I write?" and start asking, "How much did I improve?" Here's the truth nobody likes. Most writers plateau. They only practice what they're already good at. The guy who writes clever banter keeps writing clever banter. The woman who's great at spooky atmospheres keeps doubling down on atmosphere. And then 5 years later, they're wondering why their stories still collapse under weak structure, flat characters, or stakes so low you could trip over them. Mastery starts when you get sick of your own patterns. When you look at your writing and say, okay, where am I weak? Dialogue? Pacing? Theme? Emotional resonance? And then you deliberately hammer on that weakness until it breaks. That's what separates the hobbyist who collects compliments from the pro who collects scales. Now, before we go on, let me clear up a couple of misunderstandings that may have shown up. First, you don't need to be the best. Not everyone has to become some world-shattering genius. But you do need to be competent. Readers will forgive a lot, but they won't forgive confusion, boredom, or cardboard characters. Competence is the minimum buy-in. It's the table stakes. If you can't hit that bar, the game ends before it starts. Mastery is what actually gets you chips. Second, mastery doesn't mean perfecting everything. You don't have to become flawless at every aspect of writing. What it does mean is consistent growth, iterative improvement, getting a little sharper every time you step into the arena, then compounding interest. Small improvements stacked year after year. That's mastery. And third, let's talk about the classic cop-out. But I write for myself. Good. You should write for yourself. The self is always the internal compass. You are the fire that drives the work. But here's the flip side. Craft is the external compass. Craft is how you translate that fire into something another person can actually feel. Without craft, you've got raw emotion in a diary. With craft, you got a story that can reach across space and time and punch a stranger in the chest with the same force it punched you. So writing for yourself and mastering craft aren't opposites. They're allies. You create for yourself, but you refine for communication. If the self is the fire, craft is the lens that turns it into a laser. And this is where durability loops back in. Because chasing mastery isn't comfortable. It means deliberately facing the places where you suck. It means deliberately putting yourself in situations where you fail and look dumb, which most people don't want to do. They'd rather stay in safe zones where they can keep recycling what they're already good at. But that's why most writers never level up. They want the praise, not the problems. Mastery is built on problems. And if you want proof that isn't theory, look at this channel. You can literally see me going through the same process I'm describing. Video after video, year after year. I'm trying new styles, cutting what doesn't work, adjusting how I deliver, sharpening my ideas. You can watch me train in real time. And it's because I've stuck with that cycle. Create, test, refine, that I've gotten better. Doing this work is the mastery process. It's one of the reasons I keep at it, because every round makes me sharper. Every writer dreams of creating a great story. But there's no such thing as a great story. There are only thousands of micro decisions, word choice, rhythm, scene order, point of view, each one shaping the reader's experience moment by moment. Mastery is about training yourself to make those decisions better, more consistently, across every situation. Talent might get a reader to crack open your book. Craft is what keeps them glued to the page. Checkpoint 1, durability, keeps you in the arena. Checkpoint 2, mastery, it's where you sharpen the blade. Without it, you're swinging a dull weapon, hoping the world applauds your effort. But if you survive this stage, if you push through the plateaus, if you deliberately evolve, then you unlock the third and final checkpoint. And that's the one most writers hate even acknowledging: entrepreneurship. And that's what we're going to talk about in part 3.